everyone, welcome to my Facebook Live for today. You're with Stamping Flame. My name is Rochelle Laird Smith. Don't get confused, it is not Wednesday. Wednesday is my usual creative escape. I've just decided to do an additional one today just to share with you some projects using the Waves of the Ocean suite. So thanks for joining me. Just give me one moment to make sure everything's okay, and please let me know if the reception is good. We have changed some things here with the internet as well, so I'm hoping it is going through fine. The Waves of the Ocean suite is a special release which came out probably a couple of months ago, and I don't think I may have done a live once with it, but I wanted to show you a few extra projects with it and what you can do with the paper and things like that. So I've got two cards to share with you today. Who's got it? Has anyone got it already? If you haven't, that paper is beautiful, and it's got you've got the designer series paper, and you've also got some foil cardstock as well. So really nice paper. I'm just going to show you that paper as well today, so you can have a look if you haven't seen it. Just bear with me. I'm just trying something new with I've rearranged my desk, so if I changed left to right, and so if at times I'm looking in one place, so it's just I've done a big rearrange in my craft room, getting ready for a new catalog. So trying some things which are different and hoping it's all working out fine. Please say hi if you're with me, and please chat with me as we go along, so so I can say hi back to you. I'm just going to switch the camera around. So this is the paper with the Waves of the Ocean collection. It has it's 12 by 12 paper. So if particularly, like I do scrapbooking even with 6 by 6, but particularly good if you want to use a full sheet for a scrapbook page. That's what this is good for, as well as card making. So these are the really pretty papers, and that's just the one side, and I'll flip them over and show you the other. You've got some Calypso Coral there. Look, a bit of Daffodil Delight. Maybe you could even put some sort of saffron, because it shifts around to the lighter colors there. Some Petal Pink. You could possibly use Pale Papaya there. And there's that side. And then switching over to the other side, you get this beautiful Granny Apple Green and Coastal Cabana. Some Night of Navy in there. This reminds me, like, not that it looks like the New Horizons paper, but you can use it as good backgrounds. You don't need to do much, just get a sentiment, and you've got your card there. So the two cards I'm going to show you today will be, one's a little simpler than the other, and the other's a little bit more bit stepped up for just some blending and things like that. So I hope you find them interesting, and that you can try something similar or copy them, whatever you like. I'm going with for this particular card, I'm going with a Misty Moonlight card base. So giving a final hurrah to Misty Moonlight before it leaves us. I think it was my favorite, one of my favorite blues there, and a bit sad to see that go. And so that's the other side of that paper. You could use either. And the Waves of the Ocean bundle, so which is the stamp set and the dies, will be in our new catalog, which is coming out. So if you haven't already got someone who gives you a catalog and you would like to receive a catalog, please let me know. You can either send me a text, or you can call me or message me, leave me a comment here, and I will get back to you. If you are a current customer, you will get one anyway. If you have made a purchase in the last year, you will get one. Otherwise, the cost is $10, which is I posted a catalog today, and it's $10 in a small satchel just for the postage, and the catalog price is on top of that. So I'm charging $10, but you will get a credit. You will get a voucher for $10, which you can use on your next purchase with that. So we'll use this stamp set, which I have already taken out. I'm going, where is it gone? I was prepared. So I'm just going to use that stamp, and we're going to stamp the wave on this. Now you can, so it covers a fair bit, should I say, in space, but I'm obviously using it on a smaller piece of cardstock, and I'm going to try Coastal Cabana and try Granny Apple Green. I'm going to play with that and see what happens. Nothing like trying something, and see how that goes. So we'll first do Coastal Cabana, and while I'm thinking, because it's not a definite image, you can kind of mess around. You can use a Stamparatus with this, and that helps as well, but I thought of that as soon as I started inking up. So we'll see how this works, and if not, I will pull the Stamparatus out. Alright, so I have just stamped that in Coastal Cabana. Now I'm going to give this a clean with my chamois. How was your week been? How was Easter? Did you have a good Easter? Did you meet up with family or friends? We had a quietish Easter, but it was good. I'm on school holidays at the moment, so nice to get a bit of a break to do some arranging, which I've been doing heaps of. Now I'm bringing Granny Apple Green. This is my test, see how it goes, and the reason I've picked that is just pulling in a bit of the Granny Apple Green there. Now because this is not a photopolymer stamp, obviously I can't see through this, and that's where the Stamparatus would have come in handy, but I thought of that after deciding what I'm doing. So I'm just shifting that image just a little bit up and to the left, and I'm happy with that. That has like that two-tone effect on the wave. It gives that nice shaded look. And I've got a bit of Misty Moonlight again, which I'm going to layer it so that coordination carries through. And we will use this You Are Totally Awesome sentiment. You're so totally awesome. So the sentiments it comes with are: friendship is a thing of beauty, you're so totally awesome, happy birthday, your strength is an inspiration. This would tie, there's a few sets that this would tie in from the Jan-June catalog. So On the Horizon is one. I haven't got the other one, and I'm going to get it. There's another nature one there, and also the palm set, which works well with this together. Oh, oops, sorry, I just dropped my ink pad. that would sound make a racket. Alright, so Misty Moonlight ink. Now I am not certain whether this is still available. I'd be pretty surprised if it's not sold out. But if it is, grab it if you haven't got it. But I'm using it. You can use Night of Navy if you haven't got Misty Moonlight. And I'll just stamp that directly there. Now I do want to put some of these birds here, and we can stamp a few of the little birds. Now this is where you could use this this stamp from the On the Horizon set with all those birds as well. That would work fine. So I'll bring in I want to bring in Coastal Cabana. Maybe I will do some we'll go back with Misty Moonlight, I think. Let's see. Yeah, do a few birds in that. Alright, one there. One there. Oops. And I'll cover that up with one of our beautiful gems. I'll try and cover that up. A little splodge. We'll bring in our designer series paper. So that's just 9.9 by 14.2, and I like how that is blending into that background. It looks quite pretty how that's working. Sometimes you gotta try something before you know what's gonna happen. Add some dimensionals. So you can be strategic in how you cut this designer series paper, because obviously the pattern varies on that big 12 by 12 sheet. So pick what you want. Going to decorate the inside of the card and the envelope. Just got a piece of basic white. I should not have cleaned that, but that's okay. Bring that out again, and we'll mimic what we did earlier, but this time I'm going to start with my Granny Apple Green. I'm stamping off. I didn't ink it up properly. Let's flip it. This should be better. And let's see how this works on without restamping. Just a very faint image on that. And we'll bring in Coastal Cabana. There's a bit of a watermark look when you do that, sort of just that faint image. And printing on the back. Now I'll just stamp off, and let's go with, I'm just angling it like that, and because I don't want that little bit there, I'm just gonna do that, and I'm gonna ink that up again and redo that. Because of the nature of the stamp, it doesn't matter too much. Obviously, if it's a sentiment, you can't mess around too much. That's fine. Looks like two waves. The reason I'm doing this upside down, it just gets a bit better coverage than if you try to go direct to the ink pad. Let's just do that. I'm just going in back in with that wave on this side. Alright, so we've done that, and I just want to add some little embellishments on this card. And these are part of the collection, the Waves of the Ocean collection. So the bundle is carrying over, so it'll go into our new catalog. It's in our new catalog, but all the other bits and bobs aren't going in, which is the foil. I'm not using that today on any of the cards. Your designer series paper is not going through, and these gems aren't either. So you get them in different colors, you know, different shades of blue, and even get the granny apple green there. I'm gonna go with the bit of the dark blue, and you've even got Coastal Cabana there. I'll add a few extra. They're very sweet. Maybe I'll go the other way. All right. So that's that one done. Now I had done another, made another card like this, just a little bit different, same layout. I just didn't do the double stamping like I showed in this particular card. It was just one color, and this was, it looks like Pacific Point. I think I might have used on that. And Coastal Cabana again for the little birds there, and just a bit of foil on the corner. Sorry, I'm a bit off camera there. Yeah, just a bit of foil there. Not foil, what is that? Elegant trim. There you get a gold and a silver trim. That is from the one of the suites in outgoing annual catalog. So those are carrying over, but yeah, I've just trimmed that. So it's pretty similar, but I just added the double wave there. Please shoot through any questions you want me to answer. If anything needs clarification, I'm happy to help you. Now our next card, we're just going to do some blending with our blending brushes. Love my blending brushes, and it's a great way to add, get some shading on your projects. I'm using shimmery white cardstock, so for that. Just put things away. And we're going to be using this Pelican. I think it'll fit in that way. So that's a nice focal image. And it's got a die as well to cut that out. So I've got a piece of shimmery white cardstock, and sometimes I use this instead of basic white, just to give some better blending ability. It blends really well. So that's what I'm doing on this card. So not necessarily all the time for watercoloring, but it does provide some nice blending. So we have got some Sahara sand. I've got Coastal Cabana again. I may change my mind, and I think I might bring in some a yellow tone in between. Some Balmy Blue, and this is the piece of designer series paper I'm going with, and I'm trying to match some coloring there. I'm just going to get a yellow blending brush because I think it needs a bit of yellow. So to start with, we take our Sahara sand, and I'm going to create like a little hill I should say. So I'm going at like a diagonal look. And how dark, or you can go a bit darker if you want that replicating kind of sand look. Then this is where I think I'll bring in a bit of yellow. So I'm going to go with Say Saffron. I should have a separate one for yellow. This is my orangey yellow colored. So I just want a tinge of this. I'm gonna bring that in like that. So this is Soy Saffron, and you can blend it into that Sahara sand. And I'm gonna start making it straight, as just blending like a nice horizontal line to be like the horizon. Go with some Balmy Blue. No, Coastal Cabana first and then Balmy Blue, sorry. So get a good coverage of your blending brush. I'm just going to use this to hold the paper so it doesn't get my fingerprints there. The trick with blending is just get that, like, work on it little by little. Go light first and then work on it. And I find the like white, the basic white works fine, but the shimmery white just gives a different look, and it's just a smoother finish, I find, for blending. And the beauty of this, if you spritz it, it's just gonna give a nice watercolor look to it as well. So that's our little background. I'm gonna bring in Sahara Sand again, and we'll stamp a little this little grassy bit from there. Not Sahara Sand, soft suede I need. Getting my neutrals mixed up. It's always good to have some neutrals. It nicely breaks up your colors. And I'll just stamp that there. Keep that opened. And then I'll put that aside. We're going to stamp our pelican. And just thinking, yeah, we'll do him in. I've just stamped off, and with Sahara Sand, with soft suede. They're both with double S's there. Alright, so I'm bringing some stamping blends to add a bit of color to this pelican. You can obviously leave it as is. It's got some pretty shading there as is. You could even use pencil colors. So when I go in with the blends, you will see that some of that shading will go. So, but I'm adding more color with blends. So for a pelican, these are natural tones or skin tone colors. So this is SU800. This is currently available as a full pack. You'll be able to get them in packs of 2 with our new catalog. And I'm just going in. And really, when I color with blends, a lot of the time I'm not particularly looking for a specific color. I just look at my range and go, yeah, I want that color. I think it'll be nice. And that's just how I work through it. This one is SU600. Just adding a little bit of shading, but I'm going to bring in a very pale one. I'm just wanting to check this. This with 700. And the reason everything changes, like the card I did earlier was different, and you can see that. So I'm just adding a little bit of shading. Now I'll go back with this, and we'll color this the logs or paling in. Now that even works nicely. I'm just going with the grain of the wood, which is already there. Stampin' Up have done the artist's job for us. We're just coloring in. I'm using SU500, and this is a little bit like cinnamon cider. So if that's the color you're gonna miss when it goes, it just reminds me of that. Might be nothing like it when I compare, but it just reminds me of that. Let's pull cinnamon cider out. Okay, so that, see, it looks nothing like it when you put it next to each other. So, but for me, it works as good, like in that reddish tones. And I'm adding light soft suede, so we'll tie in that soft suede. Now for the life of me, I wouldn't know what colors I used on the previous card I made, but I'll show you the example what I did. I did a bit of similar colors. Alright. So we will die cut this. Going to trim this down so it'll fit in my mini stamping cut and emboss machine. I've got a bit of washi. We've got masking paper coming in the new catalogue, so I haven't got it yet, but when we can order it, that will be helpful for things like this, because it won't tear your paper. You'll be able to hold your dies together. And I missed it. I looked through the catalogue so many times and then I saw it in a corner. So when you get your catalogue, take a look at that. It's at the back. Hi Del, have I frozen? Possibly. Let me check. Looks like I have. I'm still here, but my this camera has frozen. Hang on. Just give me 1 second. I'm just going to get I think my charge is going down. Cassidy, could you bring the charge? The phone. Sorry. Thanks, Del. That's good you told me. I didn't realize. I normally have my phone plugged in for the camera up the top, and I forgot to charge it in, and that's probably why it's having a moment. Yeah, that should be better. My little assistant Cassidy is bringing my charger. Alright, so if you didn't see, you obviously didn't miss out what I did. I just die cut that. And that's what happened. Thank you. Is the picture any clearer today? Just let me know. I know we've had issues in the past with my lives. I'd like to know. Now we're going to put some dimensionals. And then I will cut one in half. I'll put another little bit there. So use up all those little bits you've got. I'm going to stick this down, but I had something else in mind that I wanted to put on there, which is my favorite linen thread. So I am going to measure two lengths. Oh, great. Thanks, Alana, for the feedback. It is clear. That's awesome. I'm happy to hear that. You love the wave cards. Thank you. It's easy to create too, so that's the good thing. If you want extra dimension, there's there's a die cut, which is a wave as well, so you could add on that as well. Let's see. This guy may be a little bit short. Sometimes I cut it way too long. And we can work it out. If not, I will do one length and do another one. Actually, I'll use that for my ball. Maybe we can do it on another one. Let's cut another piece. Linen thread, I never waste. I always use it all the time. So I've just added some tear and tape there. I'm just going to add another little bit because that just got ripped off. And we'll hold that down like that. And when you do that, you don't have to waste your tear and tape, your thread going right around. Sometimes it's very rare that I will do that where I'm wrapping right around the card. Generally, this is how I do use it. We can leave the backing on, we don't need that, that's fine. I need to take that off. Now I have got a piece of soft suede cardstock just to layer that on. I'll bring that up so you can see what the blending looks like on shimmery white. So it, let me see, it's a very, I was bringing it up to where my camera used to be. It's very, you can should see the shimmer, but it's just a very smooth finish. Got a piece of white. And we're going to layer these two together. This was the other side of that paper. I have to work out what I'm doing for a sentiment, or how I'm going to do the sentiment. I'm recycling cardstock, that's why this is, I had used it for something else, so it's a little bit curved, but once you stick it down, it's not going to matter. One thing I didn't prepare was a card base, so I'll get a card base done. Now just a little trick which I do with my cardstock, score it first and then cut it so you've got your scored cardstock or on both pieces. It helps when you're doing multiples. So this is just the Sahara sand again, and we are going to stick that down. I'll put dimensionals on this. So even though the paper didn't have the yellow on the back, I just wanted to bring in some of that So Saffron just to bring that beachy look to it. And I've really gone with completely different colors to what's on that paper, and it's okay. It doesn't really matter. On that DSP is Pool Party, looks like, and Pacific Point. But just mix and match, because it is just how that's just how that piece of designer series paper is. So it's that poured look. So now, what color shall we do our sentiment? I've got the happy birthday out, and I think that would be nice. And maybe I will tie in with some, I don't know, Coastal Cabana, I think. I'm trying to get some scrap in my scrap file. Alright. So we'll use one of the colors we've used before. These soft suede. I don't know why I keep calling it everything but soft suede today. Happy birthday. Now I am going to trim this down, just so just to frame that sentiment, and I'll trim that down a touch more, but no measurement as such. Just now what I'm going to do is cut some strips of this cardstock. And I'll tell you what I am doing when and this gives you some stability with your sentiment, and it's a good way to use up your cardstock too, or your scrap cardstock I should say. So sentiment's gonna go like that. We'll get this is the Pick-a-Punch, the banners, and you can do that just by eye as well if you don't have the punch. That looks pretty even. I might go in a little more. I just want it a bit shorter. Now for when you have little sentiment pieces like this, it's use your little cards scraps to add height and a bit of depth to your sentiment. You can use dimensionals, but just it adds a little bit of stability to it as well. And I'm just gluing them a few pieces together. You could be precise with your, maybe measure 3 exact strips, but I've just obviously eyeballed that. So then you're going to get a bit of that height, and it's a bit stronger as well. Then, because I love dimensionals, I'll add some dimensionals in. You can use mini dimensionals too. And we'll do put a little ball there. So double up, I'm doubling up the linen thread, approximately like 20 centimeters or so. And then tie your ball with the two strips or two strands together. So I'm running an offer from today until the end of the current catalog, which is the new catalog comes out on the 3rd. So this will run until the Monday fortnight. Any orders over $50, I'm gonna throw in a bag of retiring product. So I've got embellishments, ribbons. So it'll be a pack of stuff for you to enjoy. I normally sell it, so any orders over $50, you're going to get a lot of stuff in your little goodie bag. So that will offer runs until the end of the catalog. You also, any orders over 90, you're going to get that bundle, tutorial bundle, which is great. It's from several demonstrators from around the world, and there's 35 tutorials. I have one in there, but like you get good variety. It's not one stamp set, it's a variety of styles, variety of stamp sets, bundles, and it's good to see how others create with using same products, and so you'll enjoy that. So that's with any orders over 90, you will get that for free. Those tutorials come with photos, instructions, measurements, everything. For the inside of the card, I'm just going to stamp that pelican there. And I'll add something at the bottom because he looks like he's floating at the moment. Maybe just a little bit of shading there. Give it a bit of grounding. Just what was left on my blending brush I used. that card, but I'm gonna, yeah, I think that's it. I won't add any of the diamantes or rhinestones. Just, I think it's nice as is. Now I'll show you the other card I made similar to this. I didn't add a sentiment because I couldn't decide what I wanted to do, so I left it. And again, I've colored it. I've chosen darker colors. Then in this I did not add that yellow color, so saffron in there. I just did soft suede, Coastal Cabana and Balmy Blue, and it was the same sheet of designer series paper. It was just the section that I cut out. It looks different because it had that Calypso coral at the back, so that was the difference. Other than that, it was pretty much the same. So I will probably put that same sentiment across, and the Coastal Cabana would go fine there. I just was a bit undecided what I want to do. So I hope you've enjoyed those cards. If I can help you with ordering, please contact me. Always able to help you. You can always message me or even text me if you want to place an order. Now I did want to show you our current card club cards, which are the Waves of the Ocean. It's the Let's Set Sail bundle, but we're using the Waves of the Ocean suite or the paper. So that's one of the cards you'll get to make. This is another one. Card club registrations are closing tomorrow, so to get this card. So if you subscribe after that, you get next month's class. You can purchase this month's class only if you want. That's available. So it's either by subscription or month by month. And it's $55 for the month. You'll get $30 of product in your, approximately $30 of product. Sometimes it's more in your kit and all your card kits. So you'll get that embossed piece panel. You'll get your card bases, your envelopes, so eight kits, and all those, the foil and everything are included in your kit. So the registrations for that class close tomorrow. Alright, so if I can help you with that, contact me. Alright, I'll just turn it. Alright, thank you so much for joining me. Ordering link is up there for you, and if your order is under 250, use the horse code. If it's over, don't use the horse code. You will get your own stamping rewards for that. Alright, thank you so much. I will catch you tomorrow for my regular Facebook Live on a Wednesday. Alright, see you. Bye.